Hello friends, this is the first episode of Get Inspired, the Ask MJ show. I'm very happy and I would like to start the session with a thank you. Thank you for all the appreciations and all the encouragement you have been giving. I just started posting this video about 1 month back, and the encouragement I've been getting is very good. I also started getting a lot of messages and mails asking a lot of questions. So why I want to start this show is because I started getting a lot of questions through mails, and I started thinking that probably the easiest way is to just reply to the mail and answer that particular person's question. But the thought came in as into, what if there are other people who have the same question, but it's just that they're not asking. So I just want a forum where I can engage with you all, start answering some of your questions. And then I started thinking, how do I add more value to it? I just don't want to come, just have it as a question and answer session. Then I had this thought of actually bringing in emerging entrepreneurs, very successful people who are actually passionate about their dream, who have been chasing their dream, and then come and share their experience, their thoughts, and also share their perspective on the questions you've actually asked. So that's how the Ask MJ show got formed. So what we'll be doing is, this show will happen every month, most probably the first week of every month, where I will bring in some special guests who are either very successful in their own field or who are chasing their dreams, or probably who are emerging entrepreneurs like the one I have today. And we will have a conversation what difficulties they had, how they overcome, and try and poke their experience and try and inspire you through that. So that's what I'm going to try and do. So in today's show, I have a very interesting person with me. His name is Deepak Walia. I know this person for quite a few years now. He's a program manager in a corporate. He's an entrepreneur. He's a founder of a social group called Tubber. He's also the founder of Chennai Polo and Riding Club, where he's promoting horse riding and polo. He's a trained chef. He's an awesome cook. I've tasted his food as well. He's an awesome cook. He is a biker. He's a traveler. He's a very adventurous person. He has been doing a lot of things in his life. He's a multi-potential. So with no further ado, let's go and hear directly from him. I present to you Deepak. Welcome to the show. Thank you so much for inviting me into the Tubber family. You call it as a big family, yes, right? And I actually had a very awesome Holi celebration. That's the first time I was soaking wet in color, and I've never celebrated Holi in my life, and I never know it was so much fun, and I made a lot of friends. Thank you for that. So we'll hear more from you. So multi-potential, what is it all about?
Thank you, Mouli, for inviting me to the show, and it's an honor, complete honor, to be the first guest in the MJ show. And yes, multi-potentialite is a word that I got to know, with which I can associate myself and to describe myself as a person who's never glued onto any one thing. I got to know about multi-potentialite in one of the famous TED Talks, and so there they talk about people who are attracted to a lot of areas of interest, not just specializing into one thing throughout the life. So for me, I am a hotelier by qualification. I am doing the IT audits in one of the IT company. I am also learning how to play polo, founded Chennai Polo and Riding Club, doing a social group Tubber. I love traveling. Any kind of music is what attracts me. So to be able to define myself that, okay, who I am, what is it that I want to do in my life, and then I realized that there is a term for people like me which is called multi-pots, multi-potentialites, and so that's where it comes from, and I associate it to myself.
That's interesting, multi-pot. Yeah, I think I should start placing myself also as multi-pot going forward. I'm just curious, you seem to be a very adventurous person. One side on extreme horse riding, bike riding, and then on a social group like Tubber. How did it all get formed? I mean, how did it all get started? How did it all happen? Tubber, your CPRC. So can you just give a little insights onto that?
I would say it started with a group of friends over our discussions, casual get-togethers, and a mutual feeling that there has to be something more to life than having a steady job, your day-to-day, going to work, coming back. And that's where I have a qualification of being a hotel management graduate, a trained chef. My friend who's been into horse riding from his very teenage years and played polo. So we thought it's a beautiful concept to bring horse riding and food. And that's where we came up with Chennai Polo and Riding Club as our core initiative. Also, we realized that this has a lot of potential. Not many people know about horse riding, especially polo. It's an emerging game, getting very popular amongst executives. So with Chennai Polo and Riding Club, we also wanted to have a good time. So people who are coming to ride, they ride. Those who are not coming to ride, just to watch, they should have good time. So good time is never without good food. And good food is never without good gathering. So you have to bring all those elements of feel-good factor, the ambience, the food, the adventure. So there's a sport, there is gathering, and then there is good food. That's where Tabbar is. But Tabbar is unique and different. It's a very new concept, I would say. An online platform bringing together people, not limited to a particular place or a destination. So we are a moving group who will move about to any place which is good outdoors to experience good food. And obviously then horses, the bikes, your travel, your experiences is what Tabbar can be summarized into.
So let's talk a little bit more about Tabbar. That sounds interesting. For me, I mean, I attended the Holi celebration you invited me for. That was a very different experience for me. Celebrating Holi or Pongal or whatever within family is one thing, but coming and connecting with strangers and then enjoying and then forming new friends is a totally different experience, and playing that outdoor. So it was to me like, you know, Facebook, which was more live in action. So let's talk a little bit on Tabbar as into what are the other things you do with Tabbar? What are the other things you get to do? That sounds very interesting to me. Socializing in today's environment has become very important, and most of it is just happening online. And when you're bringing a new concept like bringing people outdoors and making them connect, that's a very interesting concept. So can you a little bit more elaborate on that?
Your point on Mouli. Tabbar is a Facebook which is not online. So we are very excited about this concept of Tabbar, where out of the box thinking is what we have all heard about. Tabbar is out of the doors life. So we celebrate outdoors. Tabbar is all in all an outdoors experience, be it good music, barbecue. You're doing it at what location it matters. You're doing it by the beach, you're going fishing, you're at a riding event, or maybe any other, and you're in orchards. So we want to have people out, interact. So the way you interact on Facebook, where you will meet people online, make friends, get excited about their life.
I saw kids having a lot of fun.
About their passion, exactly. And so we are so very excited. It's a very new concept to us. And I think the events that we had in the past, we started with Holi this year, and yesterday we completed a tree plantation event. The response and feedback is encouraging, and it is something which people have been craving for in cities. You know how it is, all kids into flat or integrated townships, not real outdoors which we used to experience. Who sleeps in the open at the night? Who goes for camping? How many people get access to fishing? How many of us go for a hack ride on horses or a country ride on horses? These are the experiences that are unknown, but these are the experiences which our parents had, or maybe their parents had. This is how we used to live. There is so much of value bringing people out, connecting real time, having good time, and that's the experience and the memory that you retain for the life.
So you allow people to stay overnight in your campus as well?
We involve people in creating an experience. So if we have members who are interested in doing a camping overnight, in doing a fishing, if they have a fantasy of, okay, we want to be in Leh Ladakh, or we want to do a bike trip from X to Y, we will arrange all that. It is all about people who involve in experience. We create that experience. There is no dearth of resources in organizing an event. we would not want to restrict ourselves to one particular area or a premises where you come, have food, enjoy the music and go back. You have the entire landscape, and it is the experience, bringing people out, the interaction, the quality interaction which matters. So that's why we are so excited to get started with Tabba, and the response is encouraging, motivating to really go ahead and test waters on where we are in terms of what people want to do.
It sounds like virtual reality actually coming to reality. You have a fantasy, you try.
You have, in fact, much better words to explain what we want to do.
So before we continue our conversation and get into other details of your entrepreneurship, let's kind of look at some of the questions I got from audience, and then we'll try answering. I would really be happy if you could also give your perspective to that, and then we can get back to our regular conversation.
Yes, of course.
The first question I got is, can you recommend few time tracking tools which can be used? So I did this talk on to-do list and all that. So in relation to that, they asked, do you really have any app which can be used? I can suggest few of them which I personally use. One app I personally use is called Commit 3. It is available in Google Play for Android as well as iPhone users. I use it specifically to track 3 things I do in alignment to my goal every day. So I have this concept of rule of 3, where I do 3 things related to my goal every day. So that particular app will help you. It's called Commit 3. So all you can do is only 3 tasks in that, and then at the end of the day you will be able to see whether you completed that or not. On the regular thing, what I do is, for my must-do list, I just use my pen and paper, the traditional good old way of pen and paper, just must-do list. Only thing I do differently is I kind of categorize. One for office, I put 2 things which I want to do for that particular day. Personal, 2 things I put what I want to do for the day, and then I have my family, and then rest all miscellaneous if you have time to do. One other tool I can really suggest if you're a desktop user, and it can really help, is called MLO, which is called My Life Organized. It's actually built on the book called Get Things Done by David Allen. You can find the link to the book in the description below. It's based on that. It's very exhaustive. When I looked into it, there was a free version for it, but I think now they charge for it. But that can really help you track as into what are the things you need to do, what phone calls you need to make for the day. If you have delegated your task, what are those tasks, who are you waiting for? If you have to send out mails, it can go into real details. It can go into details in terms of your project, step by step of your project's timeline and everything. So that's something I use. You being an entrepreneur, is there any specific tool you kind of use to keep track of your activities for the day or time management as such?
I think most of the times I use the pen and the notepad, which I carry, which I'm used to. On top of that, I use OneNote and the
OneNote,
yes.
Okay.
And Outlook Scheduler is what I use as well, and I think these are the things. But most of the time, for me, what works is the pen and the notepad. So that's what I'm used to.
I think that's good, because one thing is, if you use pen and paper, when you actually write, it becomes like a commitment from your side. There's always a happiness in actually putting down and then striking it off when you actually complete it. So pen and paper really works. I would suggest start with that. And then, you can go for multiple apps. There are many apps. It's nothing like right, wrong app. Whatever suits your comfort, you need to start using it. So whatever apps we told or software I just mentioned, I given links in the description in case if you're interested, you can just go and check out. Try it out for a few days, and then you will see if it works for you or not. All right. So let's go to the next one. The other question being asked is, there are a lot of concepts which I spoke about. Is there any 1 or 2 concept which I should start with? Okay, just to give a recap to everybody, I spoke on a must-do list. I spoke on the rule of 90 minutes, and then I spoke on rule of 3, where you do 3 things related to your goal every day. And then I spoke on spending 1 hour every day on your passion or on your interest. If I have to say, I would say start with the must-do list, because it kind of tells you what are the right things to be done on that particular day. So that's the first thing probably you need to start, because if you start with 90-minute rule, you can look busy 90 minutes doing anything, right? So I would suggest start with the must-do list, and then I would definitely suggest the rule of 3, where you do 3 activities related to your task, your goal every day. That three things will really make you move towards your goal. So I would recommend these two as the top priority, which you can start using it across. Let's go to the next one. So one other question I got, probably you will relate to this better. I'm thinking of starting a business. What business should I get into, and should I go full time?
I think that's a very open question, Mouli. I think it is difficult to really recommend to somebody what business they should get into. If they have not yet identified what is it they want to do, that's the question that the person has to answer to himself or herself. What's the other part?
The other part is, should I go full time?
That's again a matter of personal choice or priority or the circumstance around a person. If for a person like me, I cannot afford to go full time. So to get serious, then I think that you need to weigh on a lot of options, the liabilities, the constraints, and what opportunities lies if you go full time. And what is it that is meant by full time? Is the person already into job, wants to quit and start new? So there are a lot of factors for a decision to be taken around it. But I suggest to evaluate the risks, see what is your risk appetite, define it, get started. Maybe you have to go slow in the to begin with. It is okay to go slow.
Okay. If I have to put across my perspective, what business should I get into? Starting business is really good. I mean, Warren Buffett says that always have a second line of income coming in. So you thinking of starting a business is nice. But if you have to ask me what business, that is something for you to answer. My suggestion would be, put some thoughts around what are your core strengths. What is the area you like actually working on? Like Deepak Walia some time back said that he really very adventurous. He loves outing. He loves travel. So his business is around that. So similarly, I would say, think what your passion is, find out that, and see what you can do related to your passion, which can also get you some money. And then it will pick up automatically, because you need to enjoy what you're doing. Should you go full time? Many would suggest go full time if you're into business. I'm not a believer of that. I think it is important to because any business you get into, it is not going to immediately get you enough money. It takes time for it to build it up. I would recommend, don't quit your job if you're already working on a job. If you're looking for a job, I would suggest it's always good to gain experience. Have an income coming in so that your basic necessities are taken care of, and then once it picks up and once it comes to a stage where you can actually go full time, then go full time. I'm not an advocate of actually leaving your job and going full time. Many may say that you may not have enough time to focus on your business. That's bullshit. If you need to really work hard, as Deepak said, you need to work hard. If you have to wake up at 4:30 in the morning and then till you go to your office, you have to work on your business, you can do that. Come back from your office and then work. But leaving a job and then getting into business full time is the only option is nonsense. So let's talk a little bit on work-life balance. I mean, a lot of people have struggled with time management, as this particular subscriber of ours has asked. I'm just wondering, you have a full-time job and then you also have your CPRC and Tabur, and you have a newborn as well, I believe. So with all this, how many hours actually you work in a week, and how do you actually do your work-life balance?
I would say it is a lot of hard work, but the hard work is worth the effort. So you're doing what you love. You're doing what your family supports. Otherwise, you cannot do it. There are multiple priorities to be managed during the day. There is work, there is your personal requirement, a family requirement. There is always a need to reprioritize the to-do list for the day, put something for the next day, and that's how it moves. To begin with, it is challenging. You get into the groove is when you start enjoying that. So I believe entrepreneurship is all about getting into your zone, taking that first step, and from there just enjoy the ride.
True, I agree to that.
Yeah.
I'm sure with your family coming to the campus, I've been to the club. For you it's work, I'm sure for them it's like a picnic.
It is. The entire 12 to 14 hours that I put in a day, I would say 9 hours apart, which is where I'm in office or I'm at work, Rest is picnic for my family. It is good time for us. So I don't really feel the pressure of that time, even if it has to kind of double certain days. So it's always a pleasure. So work, life is balanced.
I think that way you're a lucky man.
Yes.
So what are 3 things you would say to anybody who is looking forward to start his own business or trying to chase his passion? If you have to say just 3 things, what would be those?
I would say top 3 things for me is must have a sense of gratitude. Be thankful for what you have. A sense of self-belief, have a lot of faith. An entrepreneur needs to have faith in his idea, in his passion, and once you have that, then take that first step. Get started. Do not wait. Somebody else would obviously be thinking about it. Somebody else is going to do it if you don't do it. So you have all the plans on paper, put them to test.
I think a lot of people miss there.
Yes.
They keep planning, but never start.
Yes.
And then say somebody stole my idea and then they started.
Yeah, maybe I would say that part of it is what I relate to. Once you start, there's always a feeling, why didn't I do it earlier? Yeah.
So simple. So to summarize, Barnes, you're saying be thankful for the life you have, and saying you need to kind of believe your dream.
Yes.
And you need to chase it by taking the first step. I mean, start, and then it will all fall in structure.
Yes.
I agree to that. I mean, I had the same feeling as well. Good ones. So if our audience want to get in touch with you for advice or just to be part of Tabar or want to interact with you, how do they do that? You have a website or you have a Facebook page? Can you just give some contacts through which it's easy for them to kind of reach you out? Cheers. So your contact details.
We have a page on Facebook, Chennai Polo and Riding Club. So if you just search, we'll have all the details. Chennai Riding is the profile which Facebook has. I can be reached on my Twitter handle, Deepak Walia 33, or on the Facebook page. So that's how anybody can get in touch with us.
I think it's easier to reach him in Twitter. That's how I reached him.
Yes.
So this is going to be a lightning round. I'll ask you 5 questions. You need to spontaneously answer. Don't think too much. Just for some fun element, probably, let's say. And we'll also gauge your character by that. So
this round is called being on the spot?
You can call it. I call it lightning. So we'll start. Ready?
Yeah.
Okay. So what would be one advice this Deepak Walia will give to 20-year-old Deepak Walia?
Get started.
Get started. Okay, good one. Let's assume you get a chance to act in a movie. So what character in what movie?
The movie will be Sharabi and character will be Amitabh Bachchan.
Don't tell me you're an Amitabh Bachchan
I
fan.
am.
Okay. That was an obvious guess. You like superheroes?
Yes, I do.
So which one superhero you relate to much?
Spider-Man.
Why is that?
Friendly neighborhood.
You're bringing Tabar again.
Yeah, maybe you can say that.
Okay. Where would you relate more? In line with Steve Jobs or Jack Welch?
Steve Jobs.
Why is that?
It's all about entrepreneurship.
It's only because of the entrepreneurship?
There is a lot more
Okay.
which cannot be covered in rapid fire.
Okay. And is there any one regret you have in life? Like, I should have done this, I missed it, I probably should have done it before anybody would done. Do you have any regret?
I believe the only thing is this calling of being an entrepreneur and getting started should have happened 20 years back.
Somehow all entrepreneurs have the same feeling. I usually have, I should have started Get Inspired 10 years back. Every entrepreneur I meet, they kind of feel I should have started much earlier than this.
Yeah, so for me it is why now, why not 20 years ago?
Good. So they have in Coffee with Karan or anything, a gift hamper to give. Answers are beautiful. The only thing I can say is that probably I'll give you 3 months subscription of Get Inspired free.
Oh, that'll be great.
All right.
Thank you so much. And being part of this show is a bigger gift or an honor to be with you on your first show. And congratulations for this show, and I wish you all the success and the best for your shows to come.
Yep. I need to thank you. Thanks for agreeing as soon as I kind of requested you, can you be part of that? And it's always nice to bring emerging entrepreneurs and because most of my audience group is people who work in corporates like all of us and who also have dreams they want to chase and all that. And bringing a person like you gives a lot of inspiration and a lot of motivation.
Thank you so much for saying that.
I wish you all very luck in your endeavors, and I'm going to continue to be Tubber family. And I'll contribute and be part of it as well. I really love that. So you need to invite me for the next Holi celebration.
Oh, very sure.
So I'm looking forward to get wet with colors again. So thank you, and it's very nice meeting you.
Nice meeting.
That was a nice conversation with Deepak Walia, and I really enjoyed it. I'm sure you would as well. And if you like the video, please give me a thumbs up and do subscribe to Get Inspired channel for more interesting, inspiring and practical ideas. If you like to purchase the book Getting Things Done by David Allen, I've given the link in my description. You can use that to purchase the book. And the apps and the software we discussed, I've given the links as well. So in case if you want to explore and try it out, you can do that. And one special thanks I would mention is for Vijai Balaiah, who's the cameraman, and he's right now smiling behind the camera. And I've given a link to his work in my description as well. Please do explore. He is a beautiful cameraman, and he has beautiful work. You should definitely explore, and if you want to use him, feel free to do that. With that, I'm signing off for now until I see you in the next episode of Get Inspired, the Ask MJ Show. Until then, stay motivated, stay focused, and be inspired. Thank you.